Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introducing my name Dina, aulia from the third semester of English Study Program. Here I will explain about how to choose text to fulfill reading assessment 3 with the lecturer Mrs. Neng Lia Khoiriah MPD. Thank you for watching. Previously, we must first know what a text is. A text is a series of words or sentences that have a certain structure and grammar and can be composed orally or in writing. Its purpose is to convey information, explain something, or express meaning. The selection of reading texts that are tailored to the reader is very necessary. The selection of appropriate reading texts will determine the process of understanding the information in the reading text. In reading activities in the classroom, teachers need to select texts that are tailored to the student. The selection of appropriate and suitable texts also aims to increase student interest in reading. If the text is appropriate, students will view reading activities as fun. How to select text to develop reading comprehension? Teachers should also ensure that the select text. The first, contain ideas and information. Second, have a difficulty level that is appropriate for student word reading and comprehension skills, and then are aligned with the listen objective. Choosing a text develop reading comprehension is never a one-size-fits-all proposition. Exposing students to different types of text early on builds their capacity to understand the wide variety of reading material they will encounter during their school years and beyond. In exposing students to a variety of texts, how to carry out the recommendation? First, teach reading comprehension with multiple genres of text. Second, choose text of high quality with richness and depth of ideas and information. Third, choose text with word recognition and comprehension difficulty appropriate for the student's reading ability and the instructional activity. The fourth, use text that support the purpose of instruction. The first, teach reading comprehension with multiple genres of text. Teachers should use both literary and informational text in reading comprehension instruction, including both printed and digital text, because a student mastery of one does not necessarily transfer to the other. State standard may provide additional guidance on which genres students should be able to comprehend at a given grade level. For example, narrative text portray a story or sequence or related fictional or non-fictional events involving individuals or fictional characters in the elementary grades. Narrative text can include historical fiction, fable, and autobiographies. Informational text include expository writing, pieces that argue in favor of one position or another. The procedural text and documents. In the elementary grades, informational text can include news articles, speeches, and timelines. Second, choose text of high quality with richness and depth of ideas and information. A story with strong literary value and informational text that are accurate, well-written, and engaging are consistently good choice for teaching reading comprehension. When selecting text, teachers should look for characteristics such as rich content. For example, character development in literary text or elaborate detail in informational text, strong organization, and variation and richness in word choice and sentence structure. A third, choose text with word recognition and comprehension difficulty appropriate for the student reading ability and the instructional activity. When selecting a text, teachers should consider textual or linguistic demand. For example, word decoding, sentence complexity, and text organization, layout or formatting, and content demand. For example, how complex, abstract, or subtle the information is. Keeping in mind that those aspects of difficulty can vary within the same text. Teachers should provide students with opportunities to read texts that are appropriately challenging and consider activities such as shared reading or guided reading, in which more challenging texts might be appropriate as support from the teacher is more available. Additionally, selecting texts that align with student interests and background knowledge may also increase their motivation to persevere in comprehending a more challenging text. The fourth, use the text that support the purpose of instruction. Reading comprehension lessons should be focused on one, increasing student ability to apply reading comprehension strategies, and second, expanding their knowledge of specific genres, structure, and text, or developing their ability to engage in higher order discussion about the text. And then, teacher can use several planned activities. The first, giving a lesson on text structure. Start instruction using a text about a topic familiar to students and one in which the structure is easy to identify. Then progress to a text on a less familiar topic and with a somewhat more complex structure. Second, introducing a strategy to students. Select a text where the strategy is easily applied. Once students have had time to practice, select a more challenging text. The third, building student depth of understanding. Avoid texts that simply reinforce a student knowledge of solid relationship, as these are more suitable for practicing decoding and word recognition. The fourth, reading to students. Select a text that is well above the student reading level but at their listening comprehension level. These are just a few examples of plans. If you want to add more, that would be great. Furthermore, there are some obstacles in learning and education. Because every school must have obstacles in learning. The first, some school systems have a set curriculum or program in place, and teachers believe that they have little choice in the text used for teaching comprehension. Education approach. Using a core program often doesn't preclude making necessary adjustments or supplementing particular units. Example, using district content-based material for each reading comprehension. Additionally, resources. Teachers should discuss any concerns about appropriate text with administrators or appropriate building or district personnel. Second, the range of word reading and comprehension level in the classroom makes it difficult to select appropriate text. Suggestion approach, providing different text to different students is important and dependent on the student as well as on the teacher instructional goals. For instruction, teacher can place students in groups according to their interests or to the reading-listen objective. Alternatively, if there is content that all students need to learn, a selection of texts that address the same content at different levels of complexity can be used. Third, there are a lot of texts available to choose from, which makes it hard to know where to start. Suggestion approach, administrators and other colleges are great resources for suggestion or appropriate texts. Teacher can also consult literacy coach and lead teacher who may be familiar with text for a particular grade level about meeting a certain instructional objective. Over time, finding the appropriate text may become less of a challenge as teachers build their personal library of text to suit different instructional goals and purposes. Okay guys, the conclusion in the material is the selection of reading texts that are tailored to the reader is very necessary. The selection of appropriate reading text will determine the process of understanding the information in the reading text. In reading activities in the classroom, teachers need to select texts that are tailored to the needs and characteristics of students. Based on the explanation above, it can be concluded the selection of reading teachers need to select texts that are tailored to students' needs and characteristics. The selection of appropriate and good reading texts will determine the process of understanding the meaning of the text. Consideration of text selection based on student needs and characteristics is important because not all textbooks are in accordance with student schemata, cognitive development, and word knowledge. Textbooks are in accordance with student schemata, cognitive development, and word knowledge. Okay guys, that's how to choose text material. Hopefully it will be useful for friends who have watched. I'm Dina, aulia, jahrah, and thank you for watching guys.